All right, it looks like I finally got it somewhat operational, so this is definitely a little annoying here, getting everything up and running here. Let's see here. So I just made another 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 update here. So let's see that this is able to join. That would be great. Let me post this out here and kind of get some of the things up and running here. So basically had to restream the thing. So yes, Charlie, hey, thank you. Get a thumbs up there. Appreciate that. Sorry, I had a lot of technical difficulties. So thank you. Hopefully the quality and audio is still the same. Um, let's see. We can kind of go from there. So did you see the ICES spike? So I'm not. We can look here on a smaller time frame here. So we're gonna look here. Yeah, it looks like ES did spike. So basically, up just a hair here. So we can kind of look here at a. We can kind of go into like a 15-minute chart. So again, we are breaking the high of today. So we can kind of see we've had that overall somewhat of a stopping power here. Um, uh, really above at this level at 3348. Again, that has been we stopped here pre-market. We stopped here at the high of the day, and now we're looking to potentially test that again. Yeah, Fish, I am back. Sorry, a little bit of a technical difficulties. I think right when I started the stream, I had some kind of ongoing issues because we did have a pretty strong storm come through here, which probably issued the internet at top of YouTube getting slammed with everyone streaming all their services. So their servers are pretty most likely screaming right now and looking for saying help, help, help. Whew. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a movement here. We're seeing that again. We're looking at the 15-minute chart. Let's actually break it down a little bit more to like a 5-minute chart. Something that I usually don't do too much extensive looking at. But again, we're looking at a lot of different times here. Again, we have a lot of stuff happening this year in 2020. We had the virus. We have an election coming up. Of course, where we're really kind of tuning in for this right now, and on top of the other various components that really could kind of come into play here. While that's kind of just kind of running in the back, again, we'll get the ding if that hits that level to the upside. And then we're actually going to create, we'll see on that how that goes. It looks like there's anything positive comes from that speech. Looking here on the daily chart again, looking at the SHLL. With this, I believe this has been moved or will be moved. Again, this thing has made a pretty strong comeback. Again, this is no Nikola here. This is these guys are the real deal. There is no 3D renders or faking a downhill slope truck sequence, but they actually have the technology to currently accurately help cut emissions and overall fuel costs for the large semis here in the United States, and they have ongoing testing and so forth going through. That being said, this thing has been really much on fire. Where could this go? We could be looking for $58.66 to $65.56 because we are in a fairly tight squeeze that is setting up here. Volume is coming in here, and at the same time we have the volume zone oscillator and RSI looking to really push this potentially to the high side. Since we did have that switch of the parabolic SAR, those little purple dots here that have switched to the bottom to the top side, and now looking for a potential movement higher. This is definitely something that we could see potentially really pop here and really carry us through to the upside. Hold on one second. My thing is it's messing up. Let's see here. Let's change. There we go. Anyways, that being said, this is definitely something to keep an eye on. This stock definitely has the potential to move. I'm not saying there's going to be a YOLO trade on it, but there is. This does have some. We can look at some of the options activity. So basically, if you're just joining, we're just looking at some things that really could be something that I normally do in an evening of just looking and perusing through different various stocks, how they're trading, setting things up for tomorrow to see on how things kind of come through. With SHLL, we are seeing some interesting activity here. It looks like so what we're really looking for is the particular option, the size of the option, and then what time it was executed at. So we're seeing a lot of activity coming here on October 16th. Around looks like this is coming at not the same time. Looks like they're getting out of these positions. It's kind of strange. It's both from those kind of indexes or those exchanges. The different prices though, but there is a lot of activity at 65 call that is pretty substantial. They could be doesn't really make too much sense. They could be buying and then selling it for collecting premium. But the 500 contracts they sold at 65, collecting a little bit of premium, which kind of somewhat makes sense. That's kind of pretty bit far out of the money for the October 6th, 16th, sorry. That is in 17 days. 65, that's basically all the way up here. You're seeing a lot of that options activity again, that well over open interest of nearly 4,000 here, and then we're seeing well over nearly 6,000 here at that $60 price target. And then we go back to the charts. What is that $60 price target come in? That's previous high, basically. In around that previous high is something where in 17 days, could it get up to $60? I'm not sure. Anything can happen. We'll definitely have to play it by ear and see how that plays out there. But that being said, this is definitely some really interesting activity coming on here at SHLL going on there. So let's go ahead and double check one more thing on my side. Yeah, I'm getting that yellow connection again. Oh, shoot. Hope everyone is at home is able to see this connection here. Another stock that I want to be looking at is Piton. I think Peloton has a lot of great potential to the upside. I know it's $100 stock now. It got up to 102 today. That we had that short-term target at basically 110. 103 to 110. We have meet that and actually beat those over our expectations. And now looking for that potential target to around 130 potentially to the upside. So if those next two targets are met, we're really looking for the longer term target within this momentum. It's still holding above the 21 and 34 EMAs. On the daily side is something that could continue driving Piton up to the upside there. Okay, 1 second here. Doop-a-doo. Let's just do stock live stream here. Let's see how much this goes with Piton. Just putting in a couple notes here real quick. If you're just joining in, thank you for coming in. We are trying to do something differently, trying to look at the old presidential elections, but we're not streaming it live. So yeah, we'll see on how that overall plays out. I'm short exercising, Bear. That's but Mr. Bear, you know you need to work out and keep your health up. Because being a bear, you got to hibernate and keep the cardio, and with your all salmon diet, you need to be careful with what you intake and do forth from there. Anyway, with that being said, looking at that Peloton here, still I know that seems super extended here, and potentially for this to move higher or lower, moving higher is pretty much, I want to say nothing is given or guaranteed, but we're seeing that squeeze setting up here. We've seen the squeeze multiple times really fire to the long side here. We saw this move here. We saw this squeeze here. And then we saw this squeeze here that really took it up to a brand new level. And then we're kind of seeing that same kind of pattern kind of building up here. But we're seeing a lot more volume in the stock that we have in the last couple months. Because again, all the folks are really getting into the exercise in the sense of like, hey, they just released a new bike, I believe, just tonight actually, that was supposed to be a little bit more reasonable cost. It's not like a $3,000 treadmill or $5,000 treadmill, whatever it is that they sell. Let's actually look that up real fast. I think it was a cheaper bike. Let's see here. Indoor cycle. They have this bike, which is $2,200, but it's cheaper now at $1,800. That seems pretty expensive for an iPad on a bike. Peloton Bike Plus. What is this sucker? It's starting at $64 a month. Ooh, you get the screen to pivot. Ooh, wow. That looks fantastic. Oh, we can do exercises. Oh, so you can move the screen. Ah, genius. So smart. So this is the new $2,500 bike, and they just lowered the price of the existing bike. So basically, if you want to pay $2,500 for this bike, I think that comes with the membership, right? Did it say so, or did this come with the membership? The all Peloton access. So yeah, all Peloton all access memberships are separate. What? You don't even get a membership when you buy the bike? Wow. Okay, I learned something new today. I thought you had a okay. Beats is on the thing. It puts on Mr. Bear's exercising. Yeah. The puts on Ken exercising too. Nice. Thanks for coming out, Dan. Yeah, subscription is extra. How much does a subscription cost? Is that like 10 or 15 bucks a month? Like a Netflix? Yeah, it's well, whatever. Looking here, another one that kind of comes up with a lot of questions is Amazon. If I can find it, where am I looking for? Why is Amazon not on my? Am I blind right now? What did it happen to Amazon? How do I not have Amazon on my watch list? Okay, which one of you's been messing with my watch list here? Or am I just being blind here? Oh my gosh, it's right there. Holy moly, it was red today. That's why I didn't see it. $30 per month. What? Tip your waitress. That's a great tip there, Dan. Girlfriend loves it. I know so many people who love it. Like I was talking to someone today, and I was telling them how much I think the stock of Piton can go higher because I'm seeing the black Mercedes-Benz van drive by on the neighborhood, and just the neighbors buying the bikes, the treadmills. I don't know. Puts on my wall for Amazon Prime Day. Yeah, it's Prime Day is October 13th, right? I wanted to look and see if there's some interesting options activity. So again, we're doing things a little bit different tonight. This is not the traditional live stream that people kind of come in and just we can talk individual charts, but this is what I kind of do in the evening to wind down. I drink my juice, a cup of calm tea or whatever, and then I just kind of look through the market, what I could potential see happening going forth and things like that. So October 13th, so this is basically coming up in about 2 weeks right now, right? A lot of options activity coming in at that 31.50 and then all the way down to 32. So basically on like $50 intervals here, really kind of coming into play here. What's Prime Day exactly? Dan, that's a great point. I honestly don't know what I'm doing air quotes right now. What Prime Day is in the sense of like, hey, it's basically there's a bunch of junk and they put it on sale, or they make it look like it's putting on sale, and the dumb cave people like myself buy it. That's basically what Prime Day is to me. Usually, uh, I thought the last 6 months has been Prime Day every day, honestly, because and speaking of the Peloton van that drives by, the Amazon van is the one that is driving up and down my street at least 3 times a day. I see something. I see the Amazon van that more than I do see FedEx or UPS trucks. So it's definitely an interesting time. And I think we all know that we all have, and Mr. Bear's laughing because he sells stuff on Amazon. Um, what's the number one item right now, Bear, on Amazon? Or what's like a hot item? I'm sure that you're really going to be able to get a lot of sold that day without a doubt. Yeah, that being said, Amazon has definitely been one. Looks exactly somewhat similar to the S&P 500. The Amazon van has the feds listening to me. Well, then I got some problems because that truck's always coming up. I was always around my house. Yeah, interesting. With Amazon as well, we are kind of trying to break out of this somewhat downward trend. We're kind of in again. There is no real uptrend in a lot of these tech heavy stocks. It is still kind of looking for this kind of a break here. You can kind of see here, you can draw some lines. Let me just draw a basic line. This downward trend here, bada boom. We kind of broke above it, but we didn't rocket higher. We didn't make a V-shaped recovery. We're kind of making an L here and potentially kind of holding in this choppy market to kind of see how things play. Oh, you sell books. Okay. Yeah. I only sell books. Okay. But there's someone else. Who was the guy you were talking to on Discord the other day who was like, was that was that Jake from like LA? I think he's from LA or something on the West Coast. That was he was selling something. He just had made like 150 orders or whatever to the FBO warehouse or something. But yeah, anyways, Amazon. I think Amazon isn't really going anywhere. By that, what I mean is that market we're seeing here within Amazon has came right down to the 21 EMA, bounced pretty hard here. Really didn't break below it. AK got a lot of those weak hands out, and now it's kind of just potentially getting in that chop market and kind of seeing if it can recover. If it doesn't kind of bounce higher and doesn't start floating, it definitely could be coming lower. This would be a key level to look for around that 29.10 level there. So I'm gonna actually put an alert for myself there. So this is basically, again, if you're just joining in, this is what I normally do in the evening, where I just kind of go through looking at charts, looking at something that could be interesting for the next play to kind of get into and whatsoever. Now this one looks really interesting. So SBAC is SBA Communications Corp. Never heard of that in my life, and if anyone has, this thing looks choppy AF, as the kids say. Really looking for that 21 EMA to really kind of, this has been really choppy here. This is pretty insane actually looking chart, but we're having some squeezes setting up here. This is definitely something that I could potentially want to look at, maybe selling some puts here. What are the options looking like on this mother trucker? Oh, they only got monthlies. And the spreads look super wide with like no open interest. Yeah, I can't touch options on this one with a 10-foot pole. That sucks. Let's look at, I don't know what that one does. Let me go here 1 second. Let me do, okay. Bristol Myers. This is one that has been on my radar for a little bit. By that meaning sense is that, hey, It's kind of holding that 200 EMA here, getting below it here multiple times, but kind of trying to come back into fruition here. We are potentially looking for a setup here because we had that momentum go from red to yellow, and now we have that squeeze indicating with the volume RSI switching to negative to the positive, with RSI trying to start getting higher. We need to start seeing it above 50. It's only a 1-day squeeze, so nothing to really write home about. Would like to put this potentially to consolidate in this range here around $60 potentially. Maybe build a little bit of a stronger base here. But once that 5 and 8 kind of cross over through the 21, we could see some potential upside. Where can we see this going? Let's go ahead and draw some fibs here. So swing high to swing low here. We could see that movement kind of that's $59.16 has been some overall support there, potentially looking for that $62.88 to the upside. We again, not to the T, but we're seeing a lot of that resistance kind of come in around that 62 to like 64, 62.88 to around $64. That overall resistance to the upside, we're seeing that, at or above there within BYMY, with those ticks kind of not really getting above that, not being able to close above literally the $64 limit. So it could get this squeeze can really build up, build a very strong base, and get some more volume coming into the stock. We could easily see that potentially start kicking up to those prices there. But that being said, this is definitely going to be one to watch for, due to the presidential, how they talk about healthcare, how they talk about treatments, and how they could really just talking about the health insurance stuff, and really covering into the very large depths of that within the market, and how that could affect. Again, I'm not saying healthcare stocks are going to be going to zero, but you have to be very get ready for, and really playing the emphasis of like, hey, the movement that we could be seeing here doesn't mean that if Biden wins, that that movement just goes nowhere, and just really just kind of the insurance just kind of magically disappear. It takes time. It's not going to be something that just happens out of the blue. So I think people who are just saying that insurance companies are going to fail and health insurance is going to be changed, that doesn't happen overnight. So I think a lot of those downturns that we've seen within the healthcare industry, in like particular UNH, which is United Healthcare, one of the largest insurers in the United States, really kind of seeing this kind of come into play here. This has been one on the radar for quite some time here, really holding that 144 EMA, which is that little that green line, green dotted teal line there. That's definitely something that we have been really kind of taking a look at to potentially see on how that one really plays out and really gets into that market here, really. So let's go ahead and double check here. With this again, with UNH here, what we're looking at here, because it bounced off the 200 EMA as well. So the 200 EMA, 144 EMA, key levels, long-term investors. Excuse me, I need to drink more coffee. Taking a sippy sip of my water or my juice here. Drinking super healthy. Let me actually redraw these fib lines because it's not updated with my original fibs. Let's do this. Oops. There we go. All right. So with the fibs here, and it didn't click where I wanted to click. Thank you. All right. Seeing that overall kind of consolidation here, not really getting that 50 percentile level here, which is around 307, is not really kind of being upward movement, kind of between that and the 311 range. We really haven't seen too much activity going on there. So that being said, be very mindful of those two levels going forth to the upside. we are seeing that potential movement from red to yellow here. We are seeing the 5 and 8 kind of build up to potentially cut through the 21 EMA and get popped up to help this movement continue. The only thing to kind of keep in mind, we do have earnings on the horizon. So less than the day after Prime Day, aka the 14th, we are seeing the earnings date for this particular stock, UNH here, to potentially be a catalyst to either direction, but this is something that be very wary about and potentially could see swing highs or lows. So let's go ahead and see what the market's looking for. Is around $20-ish, so $19 plus or minus from that level. So that's something to consider to kind of see and how that plays out either direction. So basically $20 where we're currently at is basically little bit up here to around the previous high, which is around that 324 level, and then $20 to the downside where we're basically could be potentially looking at is a little bit below where we're actually trading, where the 200 EMA lies. That would be actually a little bit lower to around the 184 level there. Brian, thank you for, oh yeah, oh yes, we can look at the old test. All right, sound went away. Okay, I should be back now. Sorry for all the technical issues tonight. It's been a stir crazy due to the fact of storm weather here, and then YouTube giving me the yellow flag in the sense of I'm not sure if it's just too many folks on the internet right now in the world watching the debates, or too busy. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully sound should be back. I'm getting a volume reading on the microphone now. Okay, there you go. Thank you, my friend. Good now. Thank you. What did I get cut out? Alexander. Oh, there goes the yellow flag again. Oh my gosh. All good. Okay. Thank you, Alexander. I just got the yellow flag again here on YouTube. Cannot maintain a smooth streams. Your viewers may experience buffering. Well, that sucks again. It's on the fritz. Yeah, there's a lot of things on the fritz, honestly, with this crazy stuff that's really kind of going on here. This is pretty, ugh. Why error suggesting audio? You're just saying the stream is in excellent condition, and now you give me a yellow flag. Anywho, guys, if you got a couple more tickers, we're gonna cut it short here. Okay, that just went away. What in the world? Maybe I should stop looking at it. And okay, now it's saying excellent condition. This is insane. I wish I could. I guess I could show it. Would it do the infinite loop? No, would it do the infinite loop? Like I was getting the yellow location, yeah. So buffering is cool. That's funny. Brian says MU2, please. Thank you. Yeah, MU had earnings tonight, right? I think I sold some premium in that. And they're down a little bit, 48.75 basically after hours trading. With this one, I think I don't follow this one too directly here, honestly. With that movement, we have seen overall like just issues trying to get above $50 a lot of the times with MU, which is the 618 from the swing high, and nothing has really changed. Even with earnings, looks like they did it better for earnings per share, but it's still kind of going down. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, it's trading around 48.75 ish range. And after I was trading, we'll see how it opens up tomorrow. I think I sold like the 47.50 range kind of puts. But yeah, this one, as long as it stays above the 21 EMA, we could see this potentially try to grind higher. But this could just still be in Chopville, honestly, and just kind of continue to come below. If it breaks below the 21 EMA, we can easily get down to around 46.53. But I think that this one just can easily kind of just chop around for a little bit. Charlie says, Walmart. Yes, I love me some Walmart. Full disclosure, um, long term Walmart in my portfolio. So my overall view of Walmart is long term. That being said, we are kind of coming down to that 21 EMA, like we have been talking about. The 21 and 34 EMA have been very choppy markets and just continue to kind of trade sideways to kind of build that base, because we are seeing still that red notion here of that overall momentum to the downside here really kind of come into play, and is really kind of just dragging it not lower, but just kind of like, I don't think there's a lot of eyeballs on Walmart right now, and that could be a good or bad thing depending how you look at it. I think that Walmart doesn't really get the praise that it does have. I'm sure. I think that people kind of call it trashy, which I disagree, but that's whatever. That's people's opinions. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as it trades between that 137 to around like 135 ish, it can just be in Chopville. But if it starts getting below like 135 and even down to like the 130 level, those are going to be potentially time to pull back the lever, potentially reconsider the overall position and start cutting it. But as of right now, we're still looking to kind of hold this potential pattern here. Alexander says AMD. Yes, AMD is coming back from the dead. This is a beautiful looking chart here, Alexander. So basically, we're seeing that had that high of about $95. Now we kind of make this bowl shape recovery here. Some people call it a cup. We could get a handle on it, which basically means identifying kind of more chopped, just trading sideways, and then you get a blast higher. The only thing that's really missing for me here is the squeeze. So that's the TTM squeeze here on this little panel down here. We're not seeing the red dots fill in the green circles here to kind of see this breakout higher, but we are seeing a really good moving average action here. We are seeing the 5 and 8 really trying to potentially cross through the 21 EMA. We have the parabolic SAR dots being broken, so once these are to the bottom, the trend is trying to continue to carry it higher and kind of see that movement go from there. Again, overall goal for my targets for AMD is around $95. That is pretty substantial move there. But that being said, looking here on the fib side, looking for some initial targets around $86.48 to the upside, and then potentially to $90. And then of course we can kind of go up from the levels of that 100% move, but really looking for that $100 target there within AMD, because a lot of, again, full disclosure, very long-term AMD, pretty heavy between that, TSM, Wally Mark, Tesla, and a couple of little handful other guys. hopefully that was helpful, my friend. And thank you for being a fantastic member. Mr. Bear says, Fiverr, some might like it as a bullish play. Yes, Fiverr actually was one that I posted as a trade idea for the subscribers on Patreon and as well as the higher tier on YouTube. That was like we were building a position in this range here. I know it seemed choppy, but we said once it would break above that 122 range, we could easily see it hit a 140 range and above. And that's really kind of coming into fruition here. I've been out of this stock. Actually, I got out of it around this level, around 132, due to the fact of like I had a target, or I had an order out there to get rid of that position at that time. That being said, since the squeeze has already fired, this was still an overall trade for me. The trend really is still very much intact. Again, we are still holding above that yellow line, aka the 21 EMA, and just continuing upwards to the right. What I want to buy here at the tippy top, that's not really my cup of tea, but anything people would like to do. But this is definitely something that could continue to grind higher. Potentially would like to see it kind of give back a little bit before it kind of goes higher. Basically, if it kind of come down to around the 126, aka anywhere around the 21 EMA, is something where it would be a very nice potential buy there. So definitely something to look out for, and definitely something, again, it's somewhat of a newer market, that's not really a new thing, but people are really using it to expand jobs, the side hustle, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely something that people are keeping a very close eye on there. Activision kind of came up as another thing that could be potential popping here. For some reason, I don't know if anyone here is an Overwatch player. When in God's green earth is Overwatch 2 coming out? Like, have they released that date yet? It's literally been it's very Blizzard-ish to have things in beta for like 10 years. But holy moly guacamole, like, just release the damn, it's the same game. You just put a skin on it and added another game mode and whatever. But it's been waiting for that forever. I think the hype train is just the hype train it can't go for 2 or 3 years. Like, this is not a what's that game that has taken in like hundreds of millions of dollars, that space game, like space simulator game. What is it? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it now. Star Citizen. This just needs to come out with a game, guys. Interesting, but the pattern looks very interesting here. If it can stay above $80, that this pattern can hold, could be potentially a strong base building opportunity between that $80 to $83 range. And if we get a break to the upside here to around potentially seeing $91 in the short term, again, video games is still a very popular thing. Again, these are the guys who make Candy Crush. These are the guys who have Call of Duty. These are the guys that are really will be doing very well once the next new consoles come out as well. Interesting stuff, and very well as well. Guys, on that note, I'm getting the yellow flag from YouTube again. I hate to cut it short, but I'm just having too much technical issues today. Definitely we'll try to do a live stream potentially Thursday night, and we'll just kind of recap what's going on, potentially even Friday night, and seeing how the market's doing, and really kind of get some better intel on this, and just guys, honestly, have a fantastic evening. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. If you haven't already, check out the Discord, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.